Hi there underwear fans, this is Underwear Guy, and I have a new review of the N2N Bodywear Ultra Suede Bikini Brief. This was a really interesting item that caught my eye when I first saw the previews on the website because it has an unusual combination of some pretty heavy-duty metal hardware, which you can see right here, as well as this microfiber suede fabric, which is not very typical for men's underwear. This is available for the price of $36. It's in sizes small, medium, large, and extra large. It's made in the USA like all of N2N Bodywear's items. There's also in the same line a chap, a jock, and a harness. And I actually purchased the harness and the chap, so I might do a review of those depending on how much time I have. Starting with the material, this is a 95% polyester, 5% spandex blend, and you can buy all of the items in 3 colors. So there's black, a taupe, and a white. This is obviously the taupe color, which is really a light tan. And I actually like the color. It's a really interesting choice, and it's not something you see too often. Looking at the blend, it's a 5% spandex, so you might think that has a fair amount of stretch, but it's not that stretchable. You can see there's some good horizontal give, not too bad. Not a lot of vertical though. It's pretty stiff on that direction. Luckily, it doesn't affect the fit too bad, and you'll hear about that more when I talk about the overall wearing experience. The weight of the fabric, it may look like it's heavyweight. You kind of think this microfiber suede might be as heavy as real suede, but it's actually very lightweight. It feels very smooth and soft to the touch. It's a great advantage of this particular material is that it's very comfortable to wear. It's really nice. Both the interior surface, which is a slightly different feel, and the exterior. I'd almost say the exterior is a bit softer than the interior. It's not a particularly performant fabric in the sense that I wouldn't wear this in an athletic scenario. It's not the most breathable. It's not necessarily quick drying. This is definitely more of an erotic wear item. It's from the erotic line. So the fabric itself is really winning on the comfort category, and that's probably about where I'd say its main strength is. Talking about the fit, so you might notice here this actually has a pretty exaggerated pouch. It's interesting because N2N Bodywear has a whole different approach depending on the cut and the line of how they do their pouches. Sometimes it's just no pouch and it's just a smooth design, and then other times it's more exaggerated. This particular cut, I'm going to show you if you can kind of make out on the side profile, it's actually very extreme. I would say if you're using my scale, it's in the extra roomy category, and it's one of the largest pouches you're going to find. Maybe similar to kind of the Andrew Christian Trophy Boy pouch. So as a consequence, the fit in that area isn't necessarily going to be my favorite aspect because I feel like it's only catering to the higher range of guys who have a lot more to put in the pouch, and that's great, but it really sacrifices a lot of the look and the effect for anyone falling just even below that range. So it's not particularly lifting, it's not going to be particularly enhancing, and in some cases you may feel like you're swimming in it. And I'm not talking about guys that are even on the low end. You could just be average, even higher above average, and this would still feel like a really large pouch. I don't think that's necessarily a big negative. It still works fine and it looks pretty good, but it's just not quite as flattering as I think as it could be if it was just a little bit more average size on this pouch. The back is full coverage, so that's really nice. You don't feel like you're going to pop out of it in any way along the leg bands. Everything feels pretty good. The overall waist dimension is, like most N2N Bodywear, I think true to size. So the waist has a good amount of stretch. It's a covered elastic, very low profile, low rise, and the leg bands are really nice too. Sometimes I have problems with the leg bands being too tight, and this one actually did a really good job of finding that nice fit, even without a huge amount of stretch in the fabric. You might have already seen a few of the interesting elements of the design portion of this brief. I'm certainly going to call out this metal hardware. And the cool thing is, usually when you see pictures online of products that combine metal and fabric, you get it in hand and it turns out that the metal was actually just plastic. Not the case in this particular item. This is a very heavy duty metal. You can hear it. and I'll do some close-ups. The clip is functional. I wouldn't say it's actually something you would normally be taking on and off. It's not necessarily easy to undo, and that's okay because the whole thing slips on and off like regular underwear. You don't need this to really be easy to clip off. The hardware itself is weighted, but it's not so bad that it pulls anything down. I think it's actually very reasonable. And in case you're wondering, even though it is metal, it's all smooth. There's no sharp edges. There's nothing that you're going to worry about pinching or somehow being uncomfortable when you're wearing it. The other elements of the design that I can call out include the fact that it's got a nice little tag here, and that it includes the website where it was made in the USA, and then the size medium. On the reverse, you have the fabric content and then the machine or hand wash instructions. This is a typical size. N2N Bodywear does pretty small little tags, which I like because it doesn't irritate and it doesn't cause a lot of problems when you're wearing it. Another design element that's pretty cool is this small tone-on-tone N2N Bodywear logo. Again, this is a new color. The tan, slightly darker tan, I haven't seen them use this one before, and it goes really well with the overall look and the design here. I really appreciate that, and it's a nice touch. It could have been completely plain, and putting on the back is a little different, but it gives it just a nice visual element that has the very clean N2N logo there. The personality of this item, I would say, falls into the confident category, as I like to call it, because it has a high cut on the leg and a low rise on the waist. So that's going to be showing quite a bit of skin. And then the cutout obviously adds a little bit more to that reveal. The pouch is single layer material, so there will be some outlines showing through, but at least the material itself is opaque. So you will not see, based on the material opaqueness, anything coming through there. It's not sheer in any way. The back being full coverage provides a pretty decent amount of modesty on this angle, so it's really most of the reveals coming from the front side. When we talk about value, I would say at $36 this is in the luxury range for the price of this item, but that's actually pretty decent. I've seen some other similar underwear with hardware combinations that actually runs closer to $45, even $50. So $36 for this unique design and the nice material actually seems very reasonable and very competitive. The care and wash of this particular item, I would say, is a little bit more maintenance than you're probably going to get from regular underwear. Even though it says you can machine wash, I feel like this fabric will not wear well with a lot of abrasion going through a regular machine. So I think hand washing is advisable, and probably a very light detergent to not discolor the light tan. The construction itself feels very durable. N2N Bodywear is known for good construction. I felt the seams on the inside were very clean. There was some nice stitching that isn't errant or running up and down. It's very clean and straight. And everything looks durable. I obviously haven't worn this a ton. I've tried it on and worn it for a while, off and on, and everything seemed to hold up well. The double stitching on the pouch seems good and strong, and the stitching on the patch element here is really clean and looks very nice. In summary, would I recommend buying this particular under item? In general, I would say yes. I love the design and I like the color and the fabric. All of that's great. The downside, if I have one on this, is I think, again, this pouch design is a little bit extreme. It's not necessarily my favorite in the sense that I don't think it flatters all guys. It definitely works for everyone, but whether or not you find it's lifting and particularly enhancing, probably not for most of you. And that's just the one downside. Other than that, I would say I could definitely recommend this. If you're looking for something different, unique, and interesting, it's worth it for the $36, because that, again, is a really great price when you combine the metal hardware and the overall design. You're not going to find this anywhere else. It's something that I think will give your collection a unique look, and you'll look pretty cool wearing it too. Thank you guys for listening to this review, and I hope to do more for you. And until then, talk to you later.